You couldn't get away from them. You couldn't go 5 minutes without getting killed by them. And the developer seemingly didn't care how much we hated them because they took their sweet time to do anything about them. And that's assuming they did anything at all. Sometimes these plague weapons in Call of Duty remain completely untouched. I mean, look at the BAL from BAL of Duty Advanced Balfare. I'm not saying this gun wasn't fun to use. It was. It was one of the smoothest guns in COD history. It was also entirely blatantly overpowered on purpose, I assume. It completely outclassed everything in the assault rifle category, and for some reason, they never nerfed it. I mean, it's not like other guns weren't getting nerfed, right? Sledgehammer was putting out buffs and nerfs left and right, handing them out like Oprah handing out new cars. I mean, that's how it was during the Advanced Warfare era. But the BAL-27, it just wasn't properly nerfed. For some reason, the nerfs that it did receive were just confusing. They didn't actually do anything to the core issue. The BAL plagued Advanced Warfare because of its absurd 3-shot kill range. It also had a very generous fire rate. So how did Sledgehammer nerf it? With a name like Sledgehammer, you think they would be able to come down with the hammer, right? They slightly increased the recoil once or twice. They slightly increased the recoil once or twice. That was it. The BAL completely killed the variety of Advanced Warfare. I would absolutely say it plagued the game. I'm going to put it at number 10. Let's just say you're not ready for what's coming next. Like maybe the most annoying LMG in COD history? The LSAT. Absolutely should not be as good as it was. There was no reason for it. The LMG was actually pretty mobile. It had a solid rate of fire and almost zero recoil, and it could kill in 1-2 bullets if you hit headshots, and you almost never had to hit somebody more than 3 times to drop them. And it had insane ammo capacity for little Timmy, and Treyarch thought it would be a great idea to put it on a default class with a target finder, FMG rounds, and a riot shield as your secondary. They're trolls. To the ninth degree. It's like Treyarch was going out of their way to make the most annoying gun in COD history. They accomplished it. Black Ops 2 is pretty well balanced as a game. I think we can all say that, right? But the LSAT was almost exclusively used by the most annoying people on the servers. And whenever an annoying person saw somebody being annoying with it, guess what? That inspired them. They cranked up their annoyingness and made their own LSAT target finder class so they could sit in corners and spray across the map. The gun was the definition of a plague. If you saw it in the kill feed, you knew it was going to be a long, long game. How about the Reclaimer 18? How about Modern Warfare 3 2023? This one thankfully has been patched, so it's not nearly as annoying as it once was, but it gets a spot on my list today because this shotgun genuinely dominated Modern Warfare 3 for almost a year. And if Sledgehammer hadn't pushed out a surprise patch last year, it'd still be causing issues. The Reclaimer 18 is the new version of the Spaz 12. Had a few attachments that made it a complete hazard to the game's fun factor. The most popular way you saw people running it was they'd run it in a Kimbo option. And why not? There's also some really annoying barrels, and of course incendiary shells. You have to have incendiary shells with your shotgun. It's like having a sundae, not putting like chocolates and cherries on top. You have to have incendiary shells. We have to have fire spitting out the end of our shotguns, or this is not Call of Duty. The Reclaimer 18 completely took over Modern Warfare 3. It was blatantly overpowered because Modern Warfare 3 wasn't the most popular game at the time. That meant Sledgehammer didn't get permission to patch it until after Black Ops 6 came out, which, that's kind of insane to me, allegedly. Again, at least it was fixed, but it was a plague of biblical proportions until it was fixed. And speaking of annoying weapons from the new Modern Warfare series, let's go in a little deeper. The MP5 in Modern Warfare 2019, perhaps the sweatiest SMG in COD history. The 2019 MP5 had an absurd time to kill, had phenomenal handling speeds, had no recoil, and for some of the most satisfying visual and sound designs you could ever ask for in a gun, it was a great gun. It was. But the reason it was such a plague was because it was far and away the best SMG in the game, and since the MLG wannabes were all slide canceling around the map trying to push their Twitch streams, that meant you saw the MP5 about 10 times a minute during the Modern Warfare 2019 era. If you were in the lobby with an MP5 user, I mean, the fun factor immediately jumped up about 12 points. But if you were in the lobby with an MP5 user, you might as well go back out of the lobby because they were going to suck every bit of fun and life out of it. You were going to get some of the most obnoxious kill cams of all time. Sliding around the map, jumping around every corner while spamming the ADS button so they can more properly abuse the aim assist system. If you played like that, I want you to know something. You made Modern Warfare 2019 an even worse experience than it already was. And now that I'm nice and fired up, I told you guys, things are going to be different on this channel. Let's jump back over to Modern Warfare 3 with a gun that I truly do not understand, and I pondered on it. I really tried to take time to understand it. The Riveter in Modern Warfare 3 2023. We've had full auto shotguns plenty of times in Call of Duty history. It's not anything new, but in terms of damage per shot, the Riveter isn't even close to being the strongest. In terms of ammo capacity and mobility, I think it probably tops both of those categories. So obviously it's super popular with the kinds of COD players who don't want to think about anything. They don't want to fire any neurons up. They just want to run around the map, hold down the triggers, get undeserved kills, and go about their way. Now, despite it being a full auto shotgun, it was extremely lightweight. And it had some completely busted attachments. You had a 30-round mag, you had your fire incendiary shells, you had your slugs in case you wanted to just spray slugs across the map like fire hose, like a fire hose loaded with billiard balls, because that's what it was like. Extended barrels, beefy suppressors. We could go on, you name it. It's here. It's literally a Santa Claus Christmas wish list here. The Riveter takes genuinely no skill to use. That's probably why it's one of the most popular guns in the game, especially on the smaller maps like Stash House and Shipment, where you can literally run forward while holding down the fire button, use 0% of your brain power, and get a bunch of free kills. Absolutely no reason this gun should have been in the game in the first place, let alone unnerfed after all the spamming, and it was so easy to use. I could give my controller to my poodle, my 10-year-old poodle Dexy, and she could hold it down, and she could run across and get kills with this thing. She could. How about the XM4 and Black Ops 6? We have to show Black Ops 6 some love, right? Didn't get off to a great start, not the best footing. I mean, it was busted, right? This is another case where thankfully the gun was patched, so it's not as much of a plague now as it was the first 5 weeks of the game or so, but it was hands down the best gun in the game at that time. It wasn't uncommon to have matches where you would sit and watch the kill feed, and every single person in the lobby, every one of them, would be using the XM4. It was versatile, it was lightweight, it was customizable. It killed quickly in every scenario, sound like the MV4, right? And there just wasn't another gun in the game that brought something to the table that was better than the XM4 was serving at the time. And you literally unlocked it by turning on the game. Turn on the game, boot up, set your settings, you're good to do. You didn't have to do anything. They handed it to you. They said, here's your present. Made the spam even worse. I'll admit, I was a bit of a Black Ops 6 defender at first, but there's a lot of major issues with it, one of them being the plague of the XM4 for literally months until it was given a proper rebalancing. Woo! Modern Warfare Remastered. I don't even really want to talk about this gun. I was excited for Modern Warfare Remastered. I had fun with it at first, but as time went on, and really quickly, more people realized how broken the M16 was. It became more and more clear that Raven Software wasn't going to nerf it. Things got out of control. That's before they added the supply drops to the game. I still can't get over they added supply drops to Modern Warfare Remastered. At which point, I put the game down. I set it down calmly, and I walked away. I switched to something else. If you were watching the channel back then, you probably remember. The M16, lightning fast, 3-round burst, hit scan rifle, 0 recoil, only takes 2 shots to connect in order to kill the target since the burst was coming out of the barrel at 900 rounds per minute. Those 2 bullets were coming so quickly, so hot, so fast in your face, it was literally impossible for the target to react to them. Now, I respect Raven Software for wanting to preserve the original COD 4. I do. But the M16, it needed some kind of adjustment because the improved connection of MWR made it so much stronger than it was back in COD 4, and since the average skill of a COD player had gone way up through the roof, I mean, everybody was spamming it. Everybody was getting killed instantly, and everyone was complaining about it. It was a waste of a great potential remaster. And speaking of things that were wasted, let me talk about my favorite gun and my favorite Call of Duty of all time. Well, it's not my favorite gun, and it's not my favorite Call of Duty. 725, Modern Warfare 2019. This is what would happen if you took the Olympia from Black Ops 1 and you forced it to take steroids and you forced it to work out 20 hours a day. The 725 may have been a shotgun with a very limited ammo capacity, but it made up for that deficiency by firing out these miniature little nukes every time you pulled the trigger. It was a miniature nuke launcher. The one-shot kill range on the 725 was completely unreasonable when the game came out. Infinity Ward had literally to be begged. They had to be begged by the community to do something about it. Oh, and when Infinity Ward finally released the first nerf for the 725, guess what? They accidentally buffed it, which is one of the funniest things to ever happen in COD history. I'm not kidding. You can literally look it up. They put out a patch to nerf the 725's range, and they said in the patch notes they nerfed the range but actually buffed the ADS range on accident in the patch, meaning they did the exact opposite of the thing the community asked them to do, which just led to the 725 getting spammed even harder, which we didn't even think was possible. I mean, you could insta-kill anyone from anywhere, so why wouldn't you spam it? Plague. Plague with a big P. Absolute plague. And number 2. The Striker in Modern Warfare 3, the original game. The game was rushed through development as a joint effort between Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, which means I don't know definitively who is to blame for the original Striker, but I'm going to do my best. I figure it out, just know. You created one of the most obnoxious things in COD history, but it was really fun for Infected. There's that. The Striker was a semi-auto shotgun, insane ammo capacity, high fire rate, but when the game came out, it had a really good one-shot kill range, which made 0 sense. Why would you even program that in there? Why would you put time into developing that and then somehow have nobody raise their hand and say, hey guys, we shouldn't be doing that? The striker was everywhere in the first few weeks of Modern Warfare 3 till it was hit with one of the biggest nerfs in Call of Duty history, but even after the nerf, it was a top-tier shotgun, which tells you something. So if you never experienced it pre-nerf, it's okay. No, the post-nerf version literally deals 33% less damage than before, so if you think the current version was overpowered and annoying, imagine what the game was like when it hit 33% harder. You already know what number 1 is. I mean, the Brecci isn't statistically the strongest shotgun in Call of Duty history, not even close. But it's probably the easiest one to use. That's what made it such a plague. Semi-auto shotgun with way too much ammo in Black Ops 3 had a high fire rate, a low recoil, a damage profile that was a chef's kiss for all the Timmies out there. 2 to 3 shot kill basically no matter what. You could literally run around the map, spam the right trigger, be on top of the leaderboard every single time, and if you were in a lobby with somebody spamming the Brecci, you already know what I'm going to tell you. The only real way to counter their strategy was to switch to your Brecci class, which would provoke someone else to switch to their Brecci class, and so on and so forth. It was literally a plague. It was an infection. It infected everything. It was a sickness. It was the 205 Brecci, and it was the single worst thing about Black Ops 3. If you were one of the people using it, thank you for spreading your infection. I guess, I don't know. How many lobbies do you think you infected? How many did you ruin? Can you count that high? Probably not. You were using the Brecci, so you probably can't count very high. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. That was mean, but maybe true. I don't know. Anyway, there you have it, my friends. Guns that plagued Call of Duty. Hope you have a good day.